Hello guys, welcome to another virtual biology lesson. Previously we have finished the chapter about human senses, and right now it's time to start a new chapter where we will be discussing the system that we haven't discussed yet, and this is the reproductive system. And guys, to begin with, I have to tell you that humans express heavily visible sexual dimorphism. So this is, oh sorry for this, sexual dimorphism, czyli dymorfizm płciowy. This means that male and female individuals, they look different from each other. This might seem obvious for us, but in some species it's really hard to tell the sex of an individual. Let's take, for instance, ladybugs. At first glance, it's really difficult to tell whether it's male or female. If it comes to humans, it's much easier. Humans are also built differently inside their bodies. Uh, Both male and females, we all have lungs, we all have brain, we all have, I don't know, kidneys, basically everything that is inside and that is necessary for the functioning of the body. But if it comes to reproductive system, then it's different depending on the sex of an individual. And guys, both male and female reproductive systems do the work necessary to create a new human. And guys, to begin with, we will start with male reproductive system and with list of things that it's responsible for. And guys, the first and the most important task is to produce gametes. And guys, what are gametes? Gametes are reproductive cells. Male reproductive system produces gametes, which are called spermatozoa or sperm cells. Po polsku plemniki. Female reproductive system produces gametes, which are called the eggs or egg cells. Anyway, the organs that produce gametes are different in male and female. They produce different types of cells, but both of them have the same purpose. They carry half of the genetic material and they have to connect in order to create a new human. Also, male reproductive system has to allow the male to discharge the gametes, in this case sperm cells, directly into female reproductive duct to allow the fertilization to occur. And there's also the third responsibility, and this is the secretion of sex hormones. We have been talking about this a little bit when we were discussing endocrine system, and we said that testicles are endocrine glands that release a hormone called testosterone. And guys, if we are talking about gametes, it's time to take a look at what is the male gamete. And here we have a small illustration. Actually, it's a 3D render of what it looks like in reality, and this is the sperm cell. So it's a male gamete. It's also called spermatozoa. Spermatozoon in singular, spermatozoa in plural form. And guys, it is really tiny, that's first. And second, it's able to move. And it has three parts. The tail or flagellum allows it to move. Thanks to this, the sperm cell is able to travel upwards in the reproductive duct of a woman. Then the middle piece is the power plant for the cell. So it creates energy, it produces energy needed for the sperm cell to move. And then we have the head, and inside the head we have the nucleus that carries the genetic information. That's the clue of the whole sperm cell existence. The head is also equipped with something that is called acrosome, and this contains enzymes that allow the sperm cell to digest an opening directly into the egg cell. Uh, Once it reaches the egg cell, it will basically throw away all of its parts, and only the head will make it to the inside of the egg cell. Okay, so guys, now we know what the comet is and what it looks like, and now it's time to go through the whole process and the whole route that the sperm cell is taken from the place where it's produced to discharging outside of the man's body. So guys, here we have a diagram presenting the reproductive system of a man. This view is from the left side, so it's cut through. Anyway, guys, this whole journey begins here in the testicles. And testicles and epididymis, oh dear, I always struggle to pronounce this word seriously. Epididymis, yeah, they are outside of man's body because most of the things that are happening in here are inside the body, but these two are just hanging freely outside the body. And this is absolutely crucial because in order for testicles to produce healthy sperm cells, they require slightly lower temperature than 36, 37 degrees Celsius. They require temperature around 33, 34 degrees Celsius in order to function properly. But this has its downsides as well because it's really exposed to any fractures, to any accidents that might happen, and some of them might lead to damaging the testicles, not mentioning the fact that it's just painful. Anyway, this whole journey of a sperm cell starts in the testicles. Testicles are responsible for producing sperm cells. But also what is not necessarily and directly connected to producing sperm cells, testicles also release hormones, release testosterone. Then, when the sperm cells are produced, they are transferred to the second step, which is epididymis. Po polsku na jądrza, a to są jądra. And epididymis is the place where the sperm cells mature. They also serve the function of storage place for mature sperm cells. And then the next step, the sperm cells are transferred via vas deferens, which is a long tube leading straight into the urethra. So, vas deferens or sperm duct, a po polsku nasieniowód. And its only task is to transport sperm cells to the urethra. But guys, there are also two organs that add something to the mix. And I will write them in a different color because basically they are, let me remind you of the digestive system. When you eat something, the food goes through the long tube, the same case as in vas deferens here. But at some point, liver is adding something to the mix. So it's not technically a part of the tube, but still it adds something to the mix. And this is the case of those two glands, prostate gland and seminal vesicle. Seminal vesicle po polsku pęcherzyk nasieniowy. And guys, their task is to add a mix of fluids for the sperm cell to the sperm cells. And guys, prostate and seminal vesicle, they they add a mix of fluids that contain water, mineral salt, nutrients, and chemicals that increase sperm cells mobility, which means that there are chemicals that make the sperm cells more mobile, which means that they add the power to the flagellum in order for them to move quicker and more effectively. And guys, a mix of what comes out of prostate, seminal vesicle, and sperm cells is called semen, czyli nasienie. So basically, semen contains of 10% of sperm cells and 90% of just liquid, mostly water with some mineral salts and proteins. And guys, what is happening next is that the sperm, not only sperm cells, but the semen, the whole semen, is transported to the urethra, which is here. And this is also the common section for both the reproductive system and also the excretory system. Okay, guys, and what is happening in here? This place here that I'm right now marking in red this is the Latin name, but also there is a more simple name, which is spongy tissue, or po polsku ciało jamiste. And this spongy tissue is empty. During a sexual contact, it will fill with blood, basically making the penis, which is this whole outside part, bigger and stiffer, allowing it to enter the reproductive duct of a female. Okay, and once during the sexual contact, the semen is discharged right into the reproductive duct. The state when the spongy tissue is filled with blood is called the erection. And the moment of discharging semen is called the ejaculation. Po polsku erekcja i ejakulacja. Okay, guys, testicles not only produce sperm cells but also serve as endocrine glands. They secrete testosterone that is responsible for stimulating the production of ingredients needed to make semen. So, as I mentioned, first of all, the sperm cells, but also the fluids that are added later by prostate gland and seminal vesicle. In the early life of a boy, testicles produce just a little bit of testosterone and other hormones, but this changes during puberty, between 12th and 14th year of life. Of course, this might change depending on an individual. And testosterone impacts development of reproductive glands, but also the whole body. And guys, we have something that is connected to the sexual dimorphism, something that is called the sexual traits. Cechy płciowe. And guys, there are three levels of them. Primary sexual traits, secondary, and tertiary. Primary pierwszorzędne, drugorzędne secondary, and tertiary trzeciorzędne. And guys, both men and women have them. And those, in case of a man, are as following. So primary sexual traits is just the presence of testicles. Presence of gonads, basically. And gonads are organs that produce gametes. So remember this. Gonads are organs that produce gametes. And guys, in case of a man, it's of course testicles that will be the primary sexual trait. In case of women, it will be ovaries. But to this we will talk about on the next lesson. The secondary sexual traits are sperm ducts and external reproductive organs. So basically everything that is needed to discharge the amount of sperm cells and semen. Sperm ducts and external reproductive organs. And there is the third category, which are tertiary sexual traits, and those are the ones that are not connected to reproducing at all. So basically, they connect to the physical appearance, such as facial hair, wide shoulders, and so on and so on, and body hair, basically everything that happens to boys during the puberty age, and everything that is connected to physical appearance. Anyway, guys, I'm thinking whether this complicated topic I have told you about everything. Let me think about it for a second. Anyway, yes, I want you to remember the responsibilities of male reproductive system. That's absolutely important. I want you to be able to tell what the male gamete is made of, those three parts and their function and their functions. So once again, flagellum is for motion, middle piece is for energy, and the head is for carrying DNA material. And then what I want you to remember are the elements. So let's go through this once again. The first element are the testicles. There are two. Epididymis. There are also two on each testicle, and they both hang freely in a sac of skin, which is called the scrotum, po polsku moszna. And guys, testicles produce sperm cells. The sperm cells are then transported to epididymis, where they mature, where they are nutritioned. Then Through vas deferens or sperm duct or nasionowód, they travel further to urethra. On its way to urethra, the sperm cells alone are being mixed with fluids released by prostate gland and a seminal vesicle, and this mix creates the semen. The semen that consists in 10% is actual sperm cells, and there are hundreds of millions of them, and 90% is water with mineral salts, with some protein, and also some chemicals that increase the sperm cells mobility. This whole process, the whole process of fertilization or during asexual contact is possible thanks to this spongy tissue that is present in here in the body of a penis, and it fills with blood, allowing the penis to be bigger and stiff. That makes it possible to discharge the semen directly into women's reproductive tract. There is the name of erection, which describes the moment of the state where the spongy tissue of a penis is filled with blood, making the penis stiff and bigger. And also there is this ejaculation, which is the moment of discharging semen from the testicles to the reproductive duct of a woman. Please remember that we have three levels of sexual traits, and two of them, primary and secondary, are strictly bound to the process of reproducing, and the tertiary one is not linked with it at all. It's just the matter of physical appearance. Guys, this is it for now. Thanks for your attention. Please browse through assignments section because there will be something waiting for you. And that's it. Thanks for watching.